This is a good old Aussie classic. It's beef and pork rissoles. They're so tasty and delicious. I'm going to show you how to make them with a grilled potato and apple salad, and it's all for under $10, so you can feed your family a delicious, healthy meal that they're going to absolutely love and save a few dollars. This is how you do it. You start off with some potatoes. I've just got 3 potatoes here. You pop that into a pot of water, just lightly salted. You cover it, bring it to the boil, and cook them for 7 minutes. Then we're going to strain them, slice them, and stick them back onto a grill, okay? What we do in the meantime is make our dressing. So I've got myself a bowl and a whisk, and then into that I'm going to start with my vinegar, white wine vinegar, some finely chopped thyme leaves, fresh thyme, some whole grain mustard. You get all of those ingredients in there, give it a good old whisk. And then to this acidic base, we start to add a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. Okay, so whisk it up. Yum. Now, I'm tasting for the balance of acid and fat, right? So you might need a little bit more olive oil if it's too aggressively acidic, or if it's not acidic enough, you might need a little bit more vinegar. Now, remember, because it's a dressing, it should be really strong to taste because there's only going to be a little bit of it tossed over the entire salad. So you're not going to eat it like this. So don't worry if it's a bit too strong to taste right now. It's going to mellow out once you mix it with the potatoes and the apples. So once you've got your dressing made, the next thing I'm going to do is I've got half a red onion here that I just sliced nice and thinly. I'm going to go ahead and add that to the dressing, and then just sort of toss it around, and some of that onion flavour is going to come out into the dressing, and likewise that acidic, vinegary flavour is going to get into the onion. So you're almost sort of, in a really simple way, kind of flavouring or pickling your onions a little. Once your potatoes have been boiling away for 7 minutes, we're going to pull them out, strain them, and let them cool. So just go ahead, pull those out, pop them into a colander. Let them cool, and then we're going to slice them up and stick them onto a grill pan. Of course, you can throw them on the barbie if you've got the barbie going too. We're going to do our potatoes in just a minute, but first, I want to show you how to make these delicious rissoles. I've got myself some pork and beef together. Now, I've spoken to the meat department at Coles, and the very nice gentleman in the butcher section, they've actually minced the beef and the pork into the same package. So you just have to buy the one pack, which is great because you get this beautiful flavour and richness from the pork, but then I also love the flavour of beef. So together, they make the perfect rissole. Of course, at Coles, we've got Sow-stall-free pork and no added hormones in the beef, so I'm really proud of what they've done with the meat. So you put the pork and the beef together into your bowl, and then you're just going to layer in a bunch of flavours. I've got a little Worcestershire sauce, some fresh thyme, a little bit of finely chopped garlic, some ground paprika, and a finely diced red onion. So you get all of that together. I've got an egg. Now, of course, the egg is the thing that's going to hold it all together. Just crack that straight in. Don't overwork the meat. That's important, because if you overwork the meat, then it's gonna sort of turn into this hard little ball, and that's not what you want. You want it still to be nice and light. So I'm just going to use my hand, get it in there, and give it a good old stir. But like I said, don't overwork it. Never put it in a food processor or into a mixer or anything like that. Keep it nice and loose. So once you've mixed this up, we're going to roll it into 8 rissoles. So I always sort of just make it into a bit of a sausage shape, like that, and then break it in half. So I know I need 4 out of there and 4 out of there, and then the same with the next one. I need 2 out of each of those pieces, and then you can go ahead, pick them up, and just gently kind of roll it into a ball. They don't have to be perfectly shaped, and they also don't want to be too compact. So don't squeeze them, don't force them into tight little balls, just gently sort of roll them around like so. So once you've made your rissoles, if you want them to set up a little bit in the fridge, that will make them easier to cook. They won't fall apart so easily. I personally don't care whether they do fall apart ever so slightly, because that's what homemade cooking's all about. So I leave mine out, and I'm going to start cooking them straight away. My rissoles are ready to cook. I've got my potatoes here that have been par-cooked in the boiling water. What I'm going to do is cut them into sort of slices, like 1.5 centimetres thick, just like that. And then we're going to finish them on the grill. And then onto a little tray here, I'm just going to pour tiniest bit of oil, lay my potatoes out, And a tiny bit more oil. Salt and pepper. So, onto a nice hot grill, you get your potatoes, and I'm just gonna layer these up. Now, of course, you can do these on the barbie, that's no problem too. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the potatoes all the way around, and then I'm gonna cook the rissoles in the middle, because some of that delicious fat that's gonna come out of those rissoles is gonna help to flavour the potatoes. Then, grab your rissoles, and again, you might want to just give them a really light oiling. Use some of that leftover oil from the potatoes, that's fine. And I'm just going to pick those up and sit them right there in the middle of my nice hot grill. So once your rissoles and your potatoes have had enough time to get a little bit of colour, just sort of gently go in, turn them over. Oh, that's what you're looking for, that nice caramelisation. Okay, so we can turn these guys over. Like I said, they might be a little delicate, and that's just fine. Let's have a look at the potatoes. Ooh, nice bit of colour on the potatoes too. Perfect. So once you've got a little bit of caramelisation and colour on all sides of your rissoles and your potatoes are looking delicious and golden and crispy, you can turn your grill off. I'm going to finish off the salad. In here I've got just a few baby spinach leaves, so I'm going to add one of these gorgeous jazz apples, which I just love. So I'm just going to go ahead, cut the core out of that, and then I'm just going to sort of slice this apple up nice and thin. So, my apples and my spinach leaves. Let me get those beautiful potatoes. Perfect. And then into a nice large bowl, what you want to do is get the baby spinach there and the apples, those beautiful warm slices of potato, and then of course that delicious dressing that we made earlier. We're going to pour that all over there too. And then just really gently give that salad a nice toss. And what's going to happen is those beautiful hot potatoes are going to wilt down some of those spinach leaves. The rissoles. So, once your salad's sat for just a second, go ahead, pick some of that up. And the flavour of these beautiful apples and the crispy potatoes, the mustard dressing, they're all going to work so well together. Get yourself a couple of rissoles. So there you have it. A really simple meal to make, but so, so tasty.